Welcome back everybody. So this is gonna be a quick update video for you guys on stock market, and before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now if you want to get my daily trade ideas, swing trade ideas, live trading, and you want to support the channel, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. Welcome back, everybody. So, before we get started, we got lots of things coming our way next week. Lots of big earnings, starting with Boeing, GM, RCL, RTX. Then we have Starbucks, ASML, Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, IBM. Lots of big earnings, including UPS, Apple, Intel, Visa. And then we have big names like ExxonMobil and Chevron coming out with earnings this week on Friday. Now, we also have durable goods here on Tuesday. And top of that, this is the big event this week, guys. We also have FOMC, and we all know that Trump just pressuring Jay Powell and the Fed that we need more rate cuts. Now, with that being said, on Friday, Dow was down 0.32%, Nasdaq down 0.5%, S&P down 0.29%, Russell going down 0.28%. Here's 11 sectors that makes up S&P 500 on top, leading the way: communication services, utilities, consumer defensive, real estate, healthcare, financial, and basic materials. Lagging behind, technology, energy, and industrials. And what we got here on stock market map? Well, bit of a pullback here on Nvidia, down over 3%, Microsoft down just over 0.5%, Apple going down 0.39%, Amazon flat, Tesla down 1.41%, Meta going up 1.74%, Google up 1.16%, Eli Lilly going up 2.45%, and then consumer defensive, Walmart was up on the day, and Costco going flat. And you can see Chevron and XOM both are down on the day. Now, what's leading this rally, especially if you look at right here for the week, guys? Financial right here. That is what leading S&P 500 to a brand new all-time high on Friday, but Nasdaq definitely lagging behind and not quite there. And we'll talk about it. There might be a pullback that is coming this week in this market. And here's futures market, and you can see Nasdaq is down over 1%, S&P down 0.5%, and Dow Jones down slightly. Oil also down 0.5%. So I don't know if this dips are going to actually stay down for tomorrow morning, or it might just get bought up early in the morning before we even wake up tomorrow. Now you can see Trump going after Colombia here. We sent some illegal folks back in Colombia, and they could not land there because of the government, and there is some issues. So Trump hitting back with tariffs, and we will see how that plays out in next few days. So here on Dow Jones, it was down Friday 0.28%, nothing big. And if you look at my screen, we were really overextended way outside the Bollinger Band, and the resistance here, right here at 445. We definitely got a mini rejection, came back, and now we're under 445. So Dow Jones can actually get over 445, can stay over that, then definitely 100% retracement back up to previous all-time highs, which is 451 right here. That's going to happen this week. Now, we get a pullback early as tomorrow we are getting one. You guys saw that in futures market. Tomorrow, if this thing cannot break and get over 445, watch out for a pullback down to 441, 5-day moving average, which is rising. And as long as this can hold, this could be a buying opportunity. If not, it can pull back all the way down to 436, 50-day moving average, and possibly this gap will come into play right here at 433. So SPY ETF was also slightly down on Friday after hitting a brand new all-time high. So you can see SPY going up on big financial run to the upside, and that is what helping and fueling this rally. That's the financial sector which is going up, and that's why this thing is up, because we did not get a big move out of big tech on Friday, but this thing hitting all-time highs once again, 610.78. And then we saw that mini pullback, but as long as SPY can stay over, I would say 603, this gap, it's still going to be a bull run, and possibly, we can clear this previous all-time high right here, 609. That's blue skies right here, guys. And there is no volume shelf, nothing here. It can run if it wants to. And yes, things are really frothy and stuff. You know how we gapped up and ran and just gap up and go and gap up and go here on this daily time frame. What I would like to see here, at least a pullback, I would say down to at least around 600 to 596, possibly this gap getting filled. All that rally we had, at least if we can retrace half of that, back down to the downside, that's going to open up a lot of opportunities for us to buy that dip instead of going up and chasing right here. So that is the game plan for next week. If we get some sort of a higher low pullback here on this daily time frame, and some of these gaps possibly gets filled with some news, or maybe with earnings or FOMC, some catalyst, right? There is going to be a big week that's coming next week with all these earnings. These earnings can move the market. In top of that, we have Jay Powell coming out with interest rate, guys. So that's going to be a jam-packed week. Now, here on SPY, if we can clear and stay over 609, in that case, expected move to the upside for this week is 616. So we can definitely get up there. Now, we come back and we take out bottom of these candles, which is 605, then definitely watch out for. And now you can see the 5-day moving average also sitting at really close to 605. So that's going to be a support. And then the gap fill reversal as a support 603, and then flat 600 down to 596 to even this gap 594. On triple Q was down just over 0.5% on Friday. We got up to 533, got a rejection, came back and holding 5-day moving average right here as a support into closing. So if you look at my screen right here, this 529 level, this 5-day moving average, and then we also have support at 526, this gap fill reversal here. Now also you can see what's happening here, that financial actually helping S&P to move higher to a brand new all-time high, and Nasdaq here not hitting all-time high. So this is where I would be really careful, where Nasdaq should be leading, and it's not the case where Nasdaq actually lagging behind. Even though we're up, the daily trend is up, but we're just not near all-time highs. So going into tomorrow's session, 533 breaks, we might see that move up to previous all-time highs, which is 539, and over that, even 546 can happen. That's going to be a brand new all-time high. We get a pullback, first level of support, 5-day moving average right here, 529. Below that, 526, gap fill reversal. And if that don't hold, then you're going to see a dump off down to 520, 517, and then possibly from there it can go much, much lower down to this gap, 510. IWM, it's down 0.28%. So IWM, you can see right here, getting a rejection at 230 on Friday, came back and holding over 227, which is technically bullish, and you can call this a mini bull flag pattern. Now, there is no good news for IWM, especially with rate cuts, but how Trump is actually pressuring the Fed to cut, rates even more. If that's the case, we get some good news out of Jay Powell that we're gonna get more rate cuts. Well, this thing can explode. We might see that move over 230. And if this thing is able to hold that, you're going to see a straight move up to 238 and possibly even hitting or retesting previous all-time highs near 245. To the downside, right here, 5-day moving average, but key level would be right down here, guys, 227. Only if that gives up, look for more downside down to 20-day moving average, 223.58, and then the gap fill reversal at 220, which can act as a support also here on IWM. On VIX, it was down Friday 1.13%, and this thing just getting absolutely destroyed. We have a negative sloping 5-day moving average, not even holding 15 bucks here. So here on VIX, the downside target will be 1346 to 13 bucks flat right here on VIX. If this thing is able to hold 15 and we get some sort of bad catalyst out of FOMC, or maybe really bad earnings from one of these big mega cap stocks, then we might see VIX popping again back over 16 bucks and possibly over even 18, and that's going to trigger a sell-off. As of right now, VIX future is up a little bit, nothing big, but we'll see how that plays out going into tomorrow's session. So before we get started, I just want to look at the dollar here, and you can see we came down to this previous resistance right here, and now acting as a support 107.50 here. And now if this thing can bounce back up, we might see a pullback here in the market and that can happen really quickly. So watch out for that. Now, if dollar comes down a bit more, Trump is asking for more rate cuts. If that happens, dollar can come down definitely. And if that happens, we'll see a deeper pullback here on dollar, and things are going to come down even more. Now, 10-year yield, what's happening here? Back to back 2 days, getting a rejection at 4.66. If we can clear that, then it's going to trigger a sell off in the market in the short term. So watch out for that. And we might go back up and retest these highs once again. Now, if this thing is not able to break 4.66, then we might retest down here these lows, 4.55 down to 4.46 right here. And that's going to cause a rally in the market. So lots of things. I'm not saying you got to be really bullish here in this market, or you got to short everything next week, because you're going to see lots of volatility. We have Trump speaking right and left, tweeting and doing everything he can. And then in top of that, we have FOMC, J. Paul coming out and making the decision on interest rate. And then in top of that, we have all these big earnings that can actually cause, lots of drama, lots of ups and downs here in the market. So be careful how you go about, trading in the market this week. It's going to be a week where you're going to see lots of volatility, guys. And that's all I have for you guys in this video. Thank you so much for watching, guys.